Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Thank you very much for your continued support, booking lessons with me, sending me kind questions, comments, and then volunteering with your time, and then the supporting here and there with your comments. I really appreciate. So this will be an answer to a question that I constantly keep getting, and then comes from many different violinists. Namely, how could one stop being squeaky? How could one play with a beautiful tone, warm tone those professionals have? You're not alone. I remember when I was a young violinist, that was my goal of my violin playing, just being stop being squeaky and make it sound beautiful or decent. So you're on the right track for a search for the correct one. Now I'm going to give you a simple 5 things that you can try. So that you can try to see if you can improve it right away. Of course, one could practice. That's another way, but they might take a bit longer. So hopefully these 5 tips will make you find your solutions faster and save your time a bit. First, start with a correct bow grip. When it comes to sound production, 90% has to do with the right hand and also a little left hand too. But so when it comes to anything issues with a tone production, it's a good place to start with the right hand. Anything right hand related, anything bow technique related. Then start having correct bow grip. Make sure your hands are all relaxed and curved. So anything that we can bring closer to natural way is always a good way to take it. Because that's when it's a natural way, it's easy to reproduce, therefore most likely we'll stick to it. So natural way, what does that mean? So naturally our hands are not straight. Naturally our hands are a little curved everywhere when we're completely relaxed. And trying to reproduce that one. Thumb a bit curved and then all other fingers curved. Try to place a thumb near between 2 and 3. Yeah, like that, and then see if you can all have it curved. If you can have a little spacing between fingers, maybe not 2 middle fingers, but between index and middle and pinky and the ring finger, that would give us a little better control. And then see if you can have it like that. Make sure you can move all parts of bow grip, meaning you can raise your elbow up and wrist up and down, as well as a finger joint. You can do it. This is the part that a lot of violinists have a hard time, and it's not, I'm not saying that's easy to do, but see if you can move your finger joint curved, including the thumb, and straighten, because they will play an important role. Yeah. Then once you're done, make sure the bow grip also constantly changes a bit. As you travel your bow, as your hand goes away, your hand rotates a bit away from you. As you go, bring your bow closer to the front, and then your hand rotates the other way around, like this. And pinky has no function at the tip, but gradually get put, and like that. That's a good start. Now let's move on to point 2. Now, go correct right elbow height. So because the bridge is curved this way, we have to make sure the right elbow is a correct height. For E string like this, A string is like that, D or G. Let's say if we play open string, we're good at playing nice tone. We already master how to raise elbow, and depending on each string. But somehow when we start playing, that's when it becomes hard. Then what you should do is you stop before each string crossing and make sure you check your right elbow is correct. For example, you're playing something like, sorry. Then what you should do, stop and make sure your right elbow is raised enough. Again. Stop again. Often we have more trouble when we change string from higher to the lower string, because raising right elbow, which is against gravity, tend to be a little harder for us. So often stopping before string crossings and checking the right elbow height tend to fix it. Now, point 3. Make sure, understand the physics of the bow. So when you look at the bow, there's a lot of heavy parts here. Almost nothing at the tip, which means this is naturally much heavier. So main cause of having squeaky tone is when we get closer to the frog, we just fold our arm and hoping to keep it the same way. But the thing you have to understand, as you get closer to the frog, not only will the bow gets heavier, but also our arm weight gets on top of it, so super duper heavy on top of it. Therefore, of course, I'm sure you don't sound like this, but that creates it. So what do we have to do? When we pass the middle, when we go toward the lower half, we have to somehow make the bow lighter by raising the elbow or taking the weight off, and then ultimately raising the wrist, which not only make the bow lighter, also tilt the bow using just couple, not the full hair, but couple hairs on the side, therefore making even lighter like this. Now in the middle, I start raising my elbow, and when you get closer, then this is when I need to start raising your elbow, wrist. Sorry, I'm trying to make it like that. Yeah, let's try again. Elbow, let's see if we can. Now wrist. Yeah, so like this. Yeah, that's something that you can practice. Now let's go to point 4. Sorry. Keeping the bow on the same contact point, whatever you do. Contact point is the one where the hair touches on the string. So, one of another main cause from squeaky sound is when the bow travels or skating around. This kind of sound. Of course, I'm exaggerating to make a point. I'm sure you don't do that. But even if it's just gentle toe, it makes squeaky sound, even if we keep the same way. So now, how do we do that? Of course, just practicing in front of mirror helps, just physically singing or physically remembering where the contact point is specifically, so that you can keep the spot, or no matter what part of the bow it is, you should be able to keep it here or there or anywhere. And they're just simply looking that one, that can be helpful. But not only that, sometimes we know we're not on the same contact point, but we don't know how to control it. That's another problem when you have that one. So just include your daily practicing contact point change or contact point adjustment practicing. Namely, place the contact point near the bridge, purposefully move it away from the bridge, and bring it back. Yeah, like this. Again, closer to the bridge, away from the bridge, and close again. What's the purpose of this one? Is the purpose of this exercise is so that if we ever get out of contact point, which will happen to all of us, no matter how good it is, it just sometimes happens, that we know how to correct it quickly or any direction. And we want to have that capacity to be able to correct it as quickly as possible. And of course, you want to prevent it before that. But even if it happens, we know how to fix it. That's the goal. Number 5. The last one is the one that has to do with the left hand. Now, when the left finger, we have to learn how to place the correct spot too. But after we learn, sometimes we place the correct place, but somehow it doesn't sound good. It's because we have to place a certain fingertip weight until the string gets pressed all the way down. Yeah? So, even though it's a good thing to keep the fingertip light and relaxed, but still has to be a certain weight present in order for the string to go down, or in order to the vibrating string to be stopped. That's how we produce certain intonation, certain pitch. So we have to drop that one. Now, if you have that issue, what you do is you're practicing German call it klopfen, or knocking sound. So you lift your finger up, allow yourself to drop your finger with a little speed. In order to that, you need to lift up a bit higher and drop the finger with a speed. That way you don't actually have to press it hard with a weight, which will tense up the entire left hand. We're just using a little physics of the fingertip will be heavier when you play with a speed. So go a little further distance and speed. And then you don't actually have to keep it very heavy, but it has very clear sound. Yeah, I like that. You can practice that one. Of course, there's much more thing that one could practice, but these simple 5 steps will give you an idea where to start fixing it, where to look for it first. And this will fix many things, but if you don't have it, then you go broader part, which I will be happy to tell you too. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. I wish you all happy practicing. See you again. Bye bye.